Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 7th. This week, definitely check out astrojar.com right here, or in the link in the description below, for more awesome readers and astrologers. But having said that, let's see what is going on for you. Definitely a lot of people this week. Why is this coming up? Okay. There we go. Yeah, so you have a lot of people, as I always say, whenever a lot of people show up in your reading, whenever you get a bunch of court cards and things like that, you only have 3 here, which I would consider to be, enough, a lot. That means more than 3 people that you're going to be dealing with this week, and it also means to pay attention to all messages you receive, everything that you hear, even in your dreams and things like that. Usually when we get a bunch of court cards, it means that we're going to be receiving a lot of messages and things. But the first card you have is the Queen of Clubs. Queen of Clubs could be somebody coming to you who's very open and honest with you this week. Mostly a friend offering you really good advice or something like that. Also, I don't attach sex to my card, so it could be male or female. Just somebody that you consider, the way I look at clubs cards, let me back up a little bit, is I always look at them as like a really close friend, somebody we're super close with, or like a mentor or something, somebody we look up to. So it could be that person in your life that comes to you and is really open and honest with you. Sometimes the Queen of Clubs can actually hurt us in a way. They can say something to us that is very honest, and it could cause us a little bit of pain. Sometimes when people tell us the truth, it, hurts, right? But it always comes from a place of love with this card, and it always ends up helping us out, even if it hurts us, even if it's like, wow, that was a truth bomb right there, so just be open to any advice you receive from this person. Next, you have the King of Hearts. Funny enough, to me, the way I read the King of Hearts is that I just read it as things coming back to you. I don't even usually read this card as a person. I read it as like your ships coming in, On one of the other decks that I use, the King of Hearts has some ships coming in behind them. And to me, this card represents that. It represents water, and it represents all those things. So to me, again, this card represents energy that you've put out in the past coming back to you. It could be anything. It could be love. Maybe you reached out to somebody and told them you were interested or something, never heard anything, now you hear something. Could be money, could be, business, whatever, but it's always like something coming back. So a lot of you could be seeing a lot of old stuff kind of like coming back to you this month, which would be very interesting. And it's also a great card for again, love returning, love opening back up and things like that for you. Next, you show up here as the King of Spades. Really awesome way to show up. King of Spades is a card of mastery. I mean, even look in this deck, this guy's like he's like a military guy with a bunch of medals on his chest. And it represents somebody who has learned through like tons of experience and negative experiences and like all this other stuff. But it also represents the fact that you've like gained some skills and things like that from all those difficulties. Like those difficulties were not for nothing. They were there to kind of like help you and guide you and things. And that's what this card represents. It also represents somebody who realizes their problems are their own. The King of Spades is a card of realizing that, not blaming anybody else for your problems, just looking at yourself. And it's like when you do that, I mean, that's when you reach a true level of like mastery over yourself in a lot of ways. And you could truly kind of like take control of your own life and your own destiny when you realize that. So, like I said, this is one of my favorite cards in the deck, and it's one of the better ones you can get. I also think that I'm also getting that there could be, if you're involved in something legal, there could be a lot of justice there for you, and also if you are involved in something legal and you need to get a lawyer, look for somebody who is more mature and who has done whatever it is that you are going through. Make sure you look for somebody who has done it like a bunch of times. And again, it could be male or female. It doesn't matter. So don't just, necessarily look for a male. It could be, anyone. And you want to look for somebody with like a lot of experience. And that doesn't necessarily mean age either. Again, it could be just somebody who specializes in whatever you're going through or something like that. And it would go very well for you if you did that, by the way. Next, you have the Ace of Spades. Overcoming obstacles. This card represents existing problems being resolved. So a lot of you could be resolving a lot of issues and things like that. So a great card to have. It's also like a death card, kind of like a transformation card of things transforming. I do have to say that I think maybe some of you could have maybe recently lost somebody, or you could be going through that process. I hate to say it, where you know, maybe you're, you know, somebody in your life is kind of, you know, getting ready, so to speak. And so a lot of you could be going through that this week as well. And, you know, you know, it's part of life and things like that. But I don't usually look at this as an actual death card. But when it comes up with the Ten of Spades, which you have this week, you know, something like that could happen. Next, you have the Two of Spades, a card of separation. A couple other signs have had this card this week. To me, I think it's just us, people in general, all of us, letting go of old stuff. Like, you know, there's definitely seems to be this energy this week of just like shedding layers of ourselves and kind of transforming into something else. So I think that's why this card's coming up. Next, Ten of Spades again, you know, can be a card of death. It can also be a card of disappointments and things like that. I think this has come up for Aquarius like the past couple weeks here about thinking about past disappointments and all this other stuff. So try to let that stuff go. A lot of the times we can think about past burdens and horrible things that we had to go through and things like that. And sometimes when this card comes up, I think that we're looking too much in the past, right? I actually, you know, I think, you know, as most of you probably know, because I've talked about it, I am not a big fan of the New Age community in general, because I think they have, you know, the New Age community has destroyed a lot of this stuff and a lot of spirituality and things like that. And one of the things, you know, is that a lot of New Agers say is, oh, you know, always be looking forward, only looking forward. I think we need a good balance, you know, but of looking forward, looking to the future, but also, you know, keeping those things, keeping some things in the past. I would say that really it's kind of like a rule of thirds. You probably want to spend 2/3 of your time looking towards the future, a third just in the past, thinking about things. Because if we forget about the past, we're just going to repeat our mistakes and things like that. But, you know, it's more about not spending too much time there with the Ten of Spades. Next, you have the Ten of Hearts. A very good card. Fortune after difficulty. Good things happening to you after a difficult period of time. Great card for love. And I've been switching decks this week, and a bunch of signs have had this, so I know the card's not sticking, but great card for love and more love coming in. Also a great card for luck. Just a very lucky card of good luck. So looks like a great week. Even with those spades cards, I wouldn't even worry about that. It looks good. So thank you for watching.